Hey everyone, I'm so excited to share this Venom look with you all. I created this 2 years ago for Halloween, and through trial and error I figured out the easiest, most inexpensive way to do this. It cost me $45 and takes under 3 hours to complete, so let's dive right in. You're gonna need a plate, ceramic would be ideal, a bowl, scissors, makeup brush you no longer care for, pencil, black liquid latex, paper towel, and some tissue. You're also going to need some fake stiletto nails, Pros-Aide, and a blow dryer. So taking one sheet of paper towel, we're going to put this against your face. You get to pick which side of your face you want to do Venom on. I recommend doing it if you're right-handed to do it on your right side of your face, left-handed to do it on your left side of your face. It will make it easier later on when we do the application on our face. So you're going to want to draw 3 lines, one at the bottom of your hairline, one to the side of your face, right before your ear on your sideburn. And then you're going to want to draw a line about 3/4 down to the bottom of your chin. Then we're gonna get 2 more sheets of paper towel. And I'm not sure the wording for this, but you're gonna take a corner of the paper towel and you're gonna essentially rip it in half for taking out the layers. We're gonna repeat the same for the other 2. So I have 6 in total here. You're really not gonna need to use all of it. It's good to have extra. And you're gonna cut out the rectangle using these guidelines that we just drew. And then we're gonna do the same with one square piece of the tissue. Just kind of rip that, take the layers out, put them together again, fold it in half, and then we're gonna cut it at the half. And then again, cutting another half. So we're gonna take the liquid latex, we're gonna pour some onto the bowl. I don't have any measurements, just make sure not to pour everything out because although liquid latex dries slowly, it does dry out eventually, so make sure to keep your bottle capped and covered. Using the makeup brush you no longer care for, you're gonna paint 1 layer of liquid latex onto the plate, and we're gonna do the shape of the rectangular paper towel. And then we're gonna dry this first layer with a blow dryer. You're gonna wanna do a tap test to see when it's dry, and you'll know that it's dry when you tap it and it's not transferring to your finger anymore. It takes about 4 to 4.5 minutes for 1 layer of liquid latex to dry. Then putting a second layer of liquid latex and then drying that as well. Liquid latex can air dry, but that I don't even know how much longer that would take, so I recommend a hair dryer if you have it. Then we're gonna add 1 sheet of paper towel onto that layer and then paint a 3rd layer of liquid latex on top of that. So it's kind of like layering a cake. Liquid latex, paper towel, liquid latex, paper towel. And I ended up doing using 3 sheets of paper towel. You can make it thicker or thinner depending on what you're looking for, but I find that 3 works best so that it's thick enough to not break, but at the same time it's still thin enough to be flexible and look like skin. So going by one of the corners, we're going to gently pull it off the plate. it should be strong enough. If it's not, make sure to do another layer of latex. And don't worry about the residue that remains on the plate, that you can easily peel off with your fingernails, or you can scrub off. And finding where your lips are, we are going to cut a slit. Obviously I can't tell you to do what I did here. You could mark down where the line of your lips are and then cut it away from your face. So just cut out a tiny slit. And using this as a guideline, we are going to draw Venom's grin. So his grin here is like a half of a banana, but way wider. So we're gonna start on the edge where our lips will be, and then draw a curve all the way upward towards where our ear would be. And then creating that bottom line as well. And without drying this layer, we grab our fake stiletto nails and we're just gonna measure out at this point. This is trial and error, so take your time with it. You're gonna want your teeth to fit within this guideline, and then taking your scissors, you're going to cut the end of your nail that's straight and you're going to curve it out. So when you look in the mirror and you smile, you see that your teeth, where your teeth touch the gum, it's rounded. So that's what we're trying to replicate here. And Venom has, I don't know how many, 2 or 3 layers of teeth, very ragged, very uneven, but for the sake of simplicity for this mask, we're going to just keep 1 layer of teeth. And I basically just did, for lack of better words, like an up down look, and you'll see here. So alternating pointing down and alternating pointing up. And you're gonna want to make sure to go from biggest towards where your lips will be to smaller nails towards the end of the grin. Then you're going to take your liquid latex and you're going to essentially paint the gum onto the teeth. So at the ends of the teeth, we're going to just paint some liquid latex over the teeth and then just a little bit onto the mask as well. This will help serve as a little bit of a glue, but we are going to make it more secure in a little bit. Try not to get any liquid latex on the tips of your teeth, but if you do, not to worry, just let it dry first and then you should be able to peel it right off. I find it much easier to do that than to wipe it while it's still wet. Here I actually changed my mind a little bit on a few of the pieces of teeth, so this is why it's important to make sure your latex dries first, so that if you do have to take off the teeth, it will not rip off the whole, it will not, rip off more layers of the mask. So I'm repeating the step with painting the gum onto the new teeth here, and then drying that as well. Again, do the tap test, make sure it's not transferring to your finger. And then you're gonna take one sheet of the tissue. I'm gonna put it right on top of where we just painted that. So this is gonna give the gum a more 3D effect. We're just giving it more texture, making it jump off the face. And then just adding more liquid latex on top. Now the tissue is a lot more fragile than a paper towel, so you're going to want to be gentle as you paint on top because it does tend to rip. And when you paint this, you want to make sure to soften the edges of the tissue so it's not so obvious. So paint outwards to kind of blend into the rest of the skin. Then you're going to want to dry that up and do a second layer. So once it's dry, hold up the mask and just check to see that it's not breaking apart, the teeth aren't falling out, and that it's flexible. Putting this against our face, we're gonna want to round out the edges closest to our hairline and jawline. This is because we don't want a rectangular piece of mask just sitting on their face. We do want it to kind of blend into our skin during application later, and it makes it easier to stick as well. So now we're also gonna cut out a little hole for our mouth. We're just gonna go under the teeth and then using the slit, cut out that hole. You don't need to cut out a hole under the whole mouth of Venom, just where your lips are. So for the eye, I actually did use tissue for this. Ideally, you would use tissue that's smooth without any texture, unlike the paper towel that I have here. Drawing it out is almost like drawing a fish, and if it helps, you can just print out a picture of Venom and then trace over his eye, but it is pretty easy to kind of go freehand on this. I'm by no means an artist, so just kind of imagine drawing a fish with a long pointed tail at the end. So we're gonna want to find where on the mask we want to put this. And then using Pros-Aide as adhesive, we're gonna paint this under the eye. So just paint it under the eye first, and you could also use liquid latex for this, but my liquid latex is black and I don't recommend doing that because it will show through your tissue. As you can see, it already has using the one that I made 2 years ago. So let the Pros-Aide air dry a little bit and get tacky, and then stick the eye on. Don't worry about the tail of this eye, we'll take care of that later. On to painting the face. We are going to continue using the Pros-Aide, the same makeup brush that's small. We're gonna need water activated black face paint, a little bit of water, and a bigger face brush. You're also going to use lash glue. I didn't put that on there, I'm sorry. So we want to take care of our hair first. I believe a slick back look works best for Venom as he doesn't actually have hair. You can do a sleek back look with just your hair down. You could do a bun if you wanted to. For me, I chose a high braided ponytail, which is just a simple 3-strand braid all the way down. I didn't do it here because I wasn't actually going out, but I do recommend sleeking back the baby hairs and the flyaways. So the outfit, anything that's black, like pleather, works best, I think, for this. Anything shiny, all black look. So using the face paint, I'm gonna dip the brush into the water because the face paint is water activated, and then paint that, paint the whole half of your face. Don't forget your ear, back of your ear, and your neck as well. You can use any black face paint that makes you comfortable. And please test your products first. Make sure you don't get an allergic reaction to it. I chose a water activated face paint because it dries really nicely. It doesn't feel sticky or cakey. It doesn't crack either. It just sits really well. My skin is a combination type, for your reference. Now we're going to paint some Pros-Aide onto the back of the mask. Just paint it all over. Make sure to leave a little circular area for where your eye will be. Let that get air dry a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to take some lash glue and we're going to use that for the back of Venom's eye. And the reason why I chose to use lash glue instead is because Venom's eye will actually be sticking onto our hair. And I believe it is kinder to my hair to peel off than the Pros-Aide. So we're just gonna stick this mask onto our face. So we're gonna have some areas that are like sticking out. That's fine. You just go back over it with some Pros-Aide under that and then just stick, like let it get tacky and then stick back on. And then going back with some of the black face paint to make sure that we properly blend the mask into our face. So now taking some of the liquid latex, we're gonna draw Venom's slime. Sorry, Marvel fans. You're gonna draw his goop onto your face. This part is really fun and it's really up to you how you see this fit. Just make sure that your lines are for the most part connected. The reason why we're using the liquid latex instead of the black face paint for this is because the liquid latex is shiny and it helps to stay consistent with Venom's slimy look. And then just kind of add more texture around your face. And that's pretty much the whole look. Oh my gosh, it actually freaking worked. It feels so light. It doesn't feel like it's falling off my face at all. I can talk with this straw. I can probably drink something. You can kind of see a gap, but like because you painted your face black, you can't really see that. Like I'm actually blinking. It's just great. You can't see through this eye. Make sure you have someone else driving you.